Hi everyone, I'm Whitney from Sugar & Sparrow, and today I'm showing you how to make a delicious cinnamon bun cake roll with cream cheese frosting. It truly captures the warm and cozy flavor of cinnamon rolls, which makes this the perfect cake for a brunch or a cold winter day. This video is sponsored by Amoretti, and I use their natural cinnamon bun artisan flavor to give this cake and buttercream the perfect flavor. I absolutely love their products for flavoring my bakes, and you'll find a giant selection of high quality extracts, natural flavors, syrups, and more at Amoretti.com. Grab my code in the video description for free shipping. If you've never made a cake roll before, this recipe is super easy, but it's really important to read the entire recipe before you start. That way there are no surprises or stressors along the way. I'm going to start by preparing my cake pan, and this is a 10 by 15 inch jelly roll pan. We want the pan to be extra non-stick, so I'm spraying one layer of baking spray over the entire surface, lining the bottom with parchment paper, and then spraying the parchment paper with another coating of baking spray. Now let's make the cake recipe. I'll start by combining 1 cup or 118 grams of cake flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. Whisk these together and set them aside. Next, I'm separating 4 large room temperature eggs so that the egg whites are in one bowl and the egg yolks are in another. You can do this step while the eggs are still cold, but they will need to come to room temperature by the time you continue on with the recipe. Pour the egg whites into a large bowl and add a 1/4 cup or 50 grams of granulated sugar. Then use a hand mixer to whip them together on high speed until stiff peaks form. This takes about 4 minutes. If you don't have a hand mixer, you can alternatively use a stand mixer fitted with the whisk attachment for this part. You can see how the mixture thickens over the course of time, and after about 4 minutes, you should be able to see stiff peaks when you dip your mixer attachments in. Add these whipped egg whites into a separate bowl, and then use that same bowl you whipped them up in for the rest of the recipe. There's no need to clean it before moving on. Add the 4 egg yolks, a half cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of whole milk at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and 1 tablespoon of Amoretti natural cinnamon bun artisan flavor. Mix everything together and then turn the mixer to high speed until the mixture is light in color and a little bit frothy. This takes about 3 to 4 minutes. Now add half of the whipped egg whites and mix them in on low speed for about 10 seconds. Then repeat with the rest of the whipped egg whites. Finally, add in the flour mixture and mix on low speed until fully combined and uniform. This takes about 30 seconds to a minute. As with most cake recipes, we want to be extra careful not to overmix the batter. Pour the cake batter onto the prepared jelly roll pan and smooth it evenly into all 4 corners with a rubber spatula. Then bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. While the cake is baking, lay out a thin kitchen towel on a flat surface and sprinkle a half cup or 60 grams of powdered sugar on top. We want this to be ready to go once the cake comes out of the oven. As soon as the cake is finished baking, immediately invert it onto the kitchen towel and carefully remove the pan and parchment paper. Be sure to protect your hands in the process because the cake will still be very hot. Now gently roll the cake up in the towel. You can take your time with this because we want a nice tight roll that doesn't split apart. Since the cake is so warm, it'll be very flexible. When you're finished rolling the cake, let it cool to room temperature for several hours wrapped up in the towel. You can alternatively place it in the refrigerator for a couple hours to speed up the process. For the filling, I made a soft, tangy cream cheese buttercream because that is what I love to frost cinnamon rolls with. To make it, combine 6 ounces or 170 grams of block-style cream cheese and a 1/4 cup or 56 grams of unsalted butter. You can do this with a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment or a hand mixer at high speed. Beat these ingredients together on high speed until they're well combined and there are no lumps, which takes about 5 minutes. Next, sift in 2 cups or 240 grams of powdered sugar. Then add 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract and a pinch of salt. Mix together on low speed for a minute or so until the frosting is smooth and combined. When the cake roll is room temperature, carefully unroll it and flatten it out. I reserved about a half cup of the cream cheese frosting and set it aside, and then I used the rest to frost the cake. Smooth it down evenly over the surface of the cake roll using an angled spatula, leaving about a ½ inch of unfrosted space around the edges of the cake. Now take the ½ cup of cream cheese frosting that you reserved and mix in 1 teaspoon of Amoretti natural cinnamon bun artisan flavor. Then place it by the spoonful on top of the cream cheese frosting and swirl it around. Carefully roll the cake back up without the towel this time. You want it to be nice and tight so the swirl really comes through when you slice it. Finally, I dusted the top of the cake with cinnamon powdered sugar and enjoyed it right away. This cinnamon bun cake roll tastes and looks just like cinnamon rolls in cake form, and I can't get over how perfect the swirl turned out. It's soft, moist, and the cinnamon bun flavor pairs so well with the soft and tangy cream cheese buttercream. I hope you get a chance to make it and that you love it as much as I do. You'll find the full recipe and the products used in the video description below. If you love cake, head to my blog at sugarandsparrow.com for more recipes, cake decorating tutorials, and ideas for your cake making. And whether you're just starting out with cakes or curious about my methods, check out my Cake Basics playlist on my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching!